And on the 16th day the Lord appeared to him, and he said to him, Jacob, Jacob. And he said to him, Here I am. And again he said to him, I am the God of your fathers, the God of Abraham and Isaac. Do not fear to go down to Egypt, because I will make you into a great people there. I shall go down with you, and I shall bring you back, and you will be buried in this land. And Joseph will place his hand upon your eyes. Do not fear. Go down into Egypt. And his children and grandchildren rose up, and they loaded their father and their possessions on the chariots. And Israel rose up from the well of the oath on the 16th day of this 3rd month, and he went to the land of Egypt. And Israel sent Judah before him to Joseph his son, so that he might examine the land of Goshen. For Joseph told his brothers that they should come to dwell there, so they might be his neighbor. And it was the best in the land of Egypt, and it was near him for all of them, and for the cattle. And these are the names of the sons of Jacob who went into Egypt with their father, Jacob. Reuben was the firstborn of Israel, and these are the names of his sons, Enoch, and Palu, and Tezron, and Carni, 5. Simeon and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Jemuel, and Jamin, and Ohad, and Jachin, and Zohar, and Shaul, the son of the Zephonite woman, 7. Levi and his sons, these are the names of his sons, Gershon, and Kohath, and Merari, 4. Judah and his sons, these are the names of his sons, Shelah, and Perez, and Zerah, 4. Issachar and his sons, these are the names of his sons, Tola, and Phua, and Jasub, and Shimran, 5. Zebulun and his sons, and these are the names of his sons, Sered, and Olan, and Jalel, 4. And these are the sons of Jacob and their sons, whom Leah bore to Jacob in Mesopotamia, 6, plus 1 girl, Dinah, their sister, and all of the persons who were sons of Leah and their sons, who entered Egypt with Jacob, their father, were 29, and Jacob, their father, was with them, and they totaled 30. And the sons of Zilpah, the attendant of Leah, the wife of Jacob, which she bore to Egypt, were Gad and Asher, and these are the names of their sons who entered into Egypt with him. The sons of Gad are Ziphion, and Gaji, and Shuni, and Esbon, and Edi, and Areli, and Arodi, 8. And the sons of Asher are Imnah, and Ishva, and Ishvi, and Beriah, and Sida, their sister, 6. And all of the persons were 14, and the total of Leah was 44. And the sons of Rachel, who was the wife of Jacob, were Joseph and Benjamin, and sons were born to Joseph in Egypt before his father entered Egypt, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, the priest of Heliopolis, bore to him, namely Manasseh and Ephraim, 3. And the sons of Benjamin are Bela, and Becher, and Ashbel, and Gera, and Naaman, and Ehi, and Rosh, and Mupim, and Hupim, and Ard, 11. And all of the persons of Rachel were 14. And the sons of Bilhah, the attendant of Rachel, the wife of Jacob, which she bore to Jacob, are Dan and Naphtali. And these are the names of their sons who entered Egypt with them. And the sons of Dan are Hushim, and Salmon, and Asudi, and Ijaka, and Solomon, 6. And they died during the year they entered Egypt, and there was left to Dan only Hushim. And these are the names of the sons of Naphtali, Jazael, and Guni, and Jezer, and Shalom, and Eve. And Eve was born after the years of the famine, died in Egypt. And all of the persons of Rachel were 26. And all of the persons of Jacob who entered Egypt were 70 persons. Therefore all of those sons and grandsons of his were 70, but 5 died in Egypt before Joseph, and they had no children. And 2 sons of Judah, Er and Onan, died in the land of Canaan, and they had no children. And the children of Israel buried those who perished, and they were set among the 70 nations. And Israel entered into the land of Egypt, into the land of Goshen, on the 1st of the 4th month in the 2nd year of the 3rd week of the 45th Jubilee. And Joseph came to greet his father Jacob in the land of Goshen, and he embraced the neck of his father and wept. And Israel said to Joseph, "Let me die now after I have seen you, and let the Lord, the God of Israel, be blessed, the God of Abraham and the God of Isaac, who did not withhold his mercy and his kindness from his servant Jacob. It is enough for me that I have seen your face while I was alive, for the vision which I saw in Bethel was certainly true. May the Lord my God be blessed forever and ever, and blessed be his name." And Joseph and his brothers ate before their father, and they drank wine. And Jacob rejoiced very greatly because he saw Joseph eating and drinking with his brothers before him. And he blessed the Creator of all, who kept him and kept for him his 12 sons. And Joseph gave to his father and his brothers as a gift that they might dwell in the land of Goshen, and Ramses, and all of the districts belonging to them, which he ruled over before the Pharaoh. And Israel and his sons dwelt in the land of Goshen, the best of the land of Egypt. And Israel was 130 years old when he entered Egypt. And Joseph provided bread for his father and his brothers and their possessions, as much as was sufficient for them for the 7 years of famine. And the land of Egypt suffered in view of the famine. And Joseph gathered all the land of Egypt for the Pharaoh by means of the food, and men and their cattle and everything he acquired for Pharaoh. And the years of the famine were completed. And Joseph gave seed and food to the people who were in the land, so that they might sow the land in the 8th year, because the river was full in all the land of Egypt. For during the 7 years of famine it was not full, and it did not irrigate except a few places by the shore of the river. But now it was full, and the Egyptians sowed the land, and it bore much wheat in that year. And it was the 1st year of the 4th week of the 45th Jubilee. And Joseph took for the king 1/5 of everything which bore fruit, and he left 4 parts for them for food and seed. And Joseph set it up as an ordinance for the land of Egypt until this day. And Israel lived in the land of Egypt 17 years, and all of the days which he lived were 3 jubilees, 147 years. And he died in the 4th year, the 5th week, in the 45th Jubilee. And Israel blessed his sons before he died. And he told them everything which was going to happen to them in the land of Egypt and in the latter days. And he made known how it would come upon them. And he blessed them, and he gave to Joseph a double portion upon the land. And he slept with his fathers, and he was buried in the cave of Machpelah in the land of Canaan, near Abraham his father, in the tomb which he excavated for himself, in the cave of Machpelah in the land of Hebron. And he gave all of the books in his father's books to Levi his son, so that he might preserve them and renew them for his sons until this day. And it came to pass after Jacob died that the children of Israel increased in the land of Egypt, and they became a numerous people, and they were all in accord in their hearts, so that each one loved his brother, and each man helped his brother. And they increased exceedingly, and increased very much for 10 weeks of years, and all the days of the life of Joseph. And there was no Satan or anything evil all the days of the life of Joseph, which he lived after his father Jacob, because all of the Egyptians were honoring the children of Israel all the days of the life of Joseph. And Joseph died at 110 years of age. And 17 years he dwelt in the land of Canaan, and 10 years he remained as a slave, and 3 years in the prison, and 80 years under the king, ruling all of the land of Egypt. And he died, and all of his brothers, and all of that generation. And he commanded the children of Israel before he died to carry his bones at the time when they would go out of the land of Egypt. And he made them swear an oath concerning his bones, because he knew that Egypt would not again bring them forth, and bury them in the land of Canaan. Because when Macamaran, the king of Canaan, was dwelling in the land of Ashur, he fought in the valley with the king of Egypt, and he killed him there. And he pursued after the Egyptians as far as the gates of Ermon. And he was unable to enter, because another new king ruled Egypt, and he was stronger than he. And he returned to the land of Canaan, and the gates of Egypt were shut up, and there was none who could leave or enter Egypt. And Joseph died in his 46th Jubilee, in the 6th week in the 2nd year, and they buried him in the land of Egypt, and all his brothers died after him. And the king of Egypt went forth to fight with the king of Canaan in his 47th Jubilee, in the 2nd week in the 2nd year. And the children of Israel brought forth the bones of the children of Jacob, all except the bones of Joseph. And they buried them in the field in the cave of Machpelah in the mountain. And many returned into Egypt, but a few of them are left on Mount Hebron, and Amnon your father was left with him. And the king of Canaan was victorious over the king of Egypt, and he closed the gates of Egypt, and he conceived an evil thought against the children of Israel, so that he might cause them to suffer. And he said to the man of Egypt, Behold, the people of the sons of Israel have grown and increased more than we. Come, let us act wisely concerning them before they increase, and let us cause them to suffer in slavery before war comes to us, or before they battle with us. Or if not that, then they will mix with our enemy, and will depart from our land, because their hearts and their faces are upon the land of Canaan. And they appointed over them taskmasters to make them suffer in slavery. And they built strengthened cities for Pharaoh, Pithom, and Ramses. And they built all of the walls and all of the ramparts which had fallen in the cities of Egypt. And they made them slaves by force. And to the extent that they acted cruelly against them, they likewise increased and multiplied, and the men of Egypt regarded the sons of Israel as defiled. And in the 7th week, in the 7th year, in his 47th Jubilee, your father came from the land of Canaan, and you were born in the 4th week, in the 6th year, in this 48th Jubilee, which were days of affliction upon the children of Israel. And the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, issued an order concerning them that they should throw all of their male children who were born into the river. And they continued throwing them into the river 7 months, until the day when you were born. And your mother hid you 3 months. And they reported concerning her, and she made an ark for you, and she covered it with pitch and asphalt. And she placed it among the reeds by the shore of the river. And she placed you in it 7 days. And your mother came in the night and suckled you. And in the day Miriam your sister guarded you from the birds. And in those days Tharmuth, the daughter of Pharaoh, came in order to bathe in the river, and she heard your voice as you were crying, and she told her maids to fetch you. And they brought her to you, and she took you from the ark, and had pity on you. And your sister said to her, Shall I go and call for you one of the Hebrew women who will nurse and suckle the infant for you? And she said to her, Go. And she went and called your mother, Jochebed, and she gave a wage to her, and she nursed you. And after this, when you had grown, they brought you to the daughter of Pharaoh, and you became her son. And Amram your father taught you writing. And after you completed 3 weeks of years, they brought you into the royal court. And you were in the court 3 weeks of years, until the day when you went out of the royal court. And you saw an Egyptian beating your friend, who was from the children of Israel. And you killed him and hid him in the sand. And on the 2nd day you found 2 of the children of Israel striving together. And you said to that one who was acting falsely, Why are you striking your brother? And he was angry and indignant and said, Who set you as a ruler and judge over us? Do you also desire to kill me as you killed the Egyptian yesterday? And you were afraid and you fled because of those words. And in the 6th year, in the 3rd week of the 49th Jubilee, you went to dwell in the land of Midian 5 weeks in 1 year, and you returned to Egypt on the 2nd week in the 2nd year, in the 50th Jubilee. And you know what was related to you on Mount Sinai, and what Prince Mastema desired to do with you when you returned to Egypt, on the way when you met him at the shelter. Did he not desire to kill you with all of his might, and to save the Egyptians from your hand, because he saw that you were sent to execute judgment and vengeance upon the Egyptians? And that delivered you from his hand, and you did the signs and wonders which you were sent to perform in Egypt, against Pharaoh and all his house, and his servants and his people.